Welcome back to Cybersea of Galilee DSMME on this Thursday, February 25th. And today you get the joy of seeing two crosses. This one is a cross. Jesus is not on it, as you can see. This one is, of course, the one that we used the other day to show you what we use on our 15 Mysteries of the Rosary. So this is a crucifix and this is a cross. Now, in the readings today, it really struck me this morning at Mass because the readings this morning came from the book of Esther. And Esther, in this book, she was a very beautiful Jewish woman. She was the niece of Mordecai. You might remember some of this. Mordecai being the Jew representing the race that was being run over, persecuted, killed, etc. But the king did not realize that Esther was of the Jewish race. And when he saw her and he wanted her, and he at that point in the civil law had the right to get her, so she went to live in the king's palace along with other women that he also thought were beautiful. But now we have a Jewish woman living under the nose of the king, which he did not know about. So Mordecai, her uncle, comes to her and says, "We are being slain, we are being killed, you've got to do something about it." And she goes, "If I say anything, he might kill me too." The cross. Are we going to stand up for it, or are we going to turn away and leave? But I will pray. She prays, and she gets the fortitude, the courage to go before the king. She goes before him knowing it could mean her death. She pleads before the king for the salvation of her people. The king was surprised, but he loved Esther and he believed in her goodness. Beauty isn't always visible. It's the beauty of the heart that gives itself to God, that God reflects out of it, and people look at people and go, "Isn't she beautiful? Isn't he stunning in virtue?" There's something appealing about holiness that shines out from our hearts. And so I was thinking this morning when I heard this read at Mass that Esther, in many ways, is like Mary. Because Mary had that moment. Do I say yes, knowing that's going to influence my entire life? Will change it. Mary was a good Jewish woman. She knew the Old Testament. Do I say yes to being the mother of the incarnate Son of God, knowing everything that it will ask of me? Or do I say no and live my life, which so far is fine, and I presume it will continue to be? But love demands that total gift of self. What reminds us of that? Every single crucifix we will ever see. The cross, the promise that someone will be nailed to this because he loves me. That's the virtue of fortitude. That's the virtue of courage. Let us pray today for that particular virtue. From the Cybersea of Galilee DSMME, in the heart of Mary with her Son.